Russia is known for its malign influence operations, which it employs to produce warfighting advantages that neutralize the effectiveness of conventional forms of deterrence. Russia employs influence strategies both against its own citizens and against its foreign adversaries. Let's consider Russia's messaging objectives and strategy and look at a few examples of operations Russia has employed against our partners and allies, and against the US. The Russian political mindset demonstrates a keen understanding of the importance of unity and division. Social cohesion or division is what Russia seeks to influence. In Russian strategy, unity is strength and division is weakness. Russia uses information manipulation, law enforcement, and the silencing of dissidents inside Russia to create and maintain the internal perception that Russia is a unified nation. We are strong because we are unified would be the internal messaging. Russia does exactly the opposite with its adversaries. If it can portray an adversary as being divided, then it can portray the adversary as being weak. What Russia has tried to do through a combination of means is to highlight existing divisions, to throw fuel on the fires of controversy or anger that already exist within a society. If a people are bickering among themselves, they grow distrustful of their neighbors, their political leaders, and institutions, and therefore become less unified as a nation. Let's look at some of the ways Russia employs its tactics against the US, based on recent evidence. In 2014, the United States Department of Defense indicted the Internet Research Agency, a Russian agency, for sending operatives to the United States to collect baseline information about US political issues. They identified hot-button issues that might be targeted with online covert action, and then implemented them into Facebook and Twitter advertisements that they bought and displayed on social media. This was in the lead-up to the US election in 2016. The goal was to identify and understand social divisions, which then led to covert operations to try to make them worse, to exacerbate those divisions. The advertisements produced by Russians, but seemingly American, fell on both ends of the political spectrum. Online ads were produced that targeted movements such as pro-police and anti-police, pro-immigration and anti-immigration, and pro-gender issues and anti-gender issues. The intent was not to influence policy, but quite simply divide a people. When Russia seeks to influence elections, not just in the US, but in many foreign nations, it seeks to sow chaos. It has employed similar tactics in several European nations, generally European Union nations. Beyond online ads, Russia has indirectly supported extremist groups in order to exacerbate divisions. These groups are often anti-EU or anti-NATO, and Russian efforts feed into an existing anti-EU or anti-NATO sentiment that can be exploited to create social division. Russia has interfered in elections in many places: France, Montenegro, and Northern Macedonia, to name a few. In the case of Northern Macedonia, there was a question of NATO membership and questions around the naming of the country. The naming of the country was a long-time controversy, and when this issue started closing in on a final agreement, Russia allegedly paid money to people inside Northern Macedonia to prevent the agreement from being signed and thus continue resentment and division within the country. The Russians were caught doing it, and a couple of Russian diplomats were consequently expelled from Greece. In conclusion, Russia has been employing malign and coercive activities against the US and its allies, friends, and partners for years. Its objective is to divide peoples because it knows that strength is found in unity, and it uses various means to achieve its objective. The content for this video was derived from a recent JSOU interview with Dr. Kevin Reel. If you find this video interesting, please watch the full interview at Think JSOU on YouTube or here. We would like to thank these people for their work on this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel to see more JSOU Snapshots in the future.